This kid was on his way home when something tragic happened to him. Tamim Habimana was 15 years old at the time of the heartbreaking incident. He attended Harris Academy, Greenwich, and had been going home from school. On the 5th of July 2021, Tamim was walking with a friend in Woolwich, southeast London, England, when all of a sudden a group of 5 boys approached the two. None could be identified because of their age. One of the boys was equipped with a knife, another was equipped with an umbrella stem, and the other 3 used their fists. They chased down the defenseless schoolboy, and in an attempt to escape, Tamim ran between 2 parked cars, but seconds later was caught by his attackers. The killer, who had a knife, ended up stabbing Tamim, with it penetrating his heart. The wound was 15 centimeters deep, meaning the killer used a lot of force. Despite his injury, Tamim managed to run a short distance up Woolwich New Road, but collapsed shortly after. As for Tamim's friend, they cornered him in the road, striking him with the umbrella stem and hitting him with their fists. Tamim's killer actually went for the second victim and stabbed him once in the back, before the blade broke, and after they were done with the second victim, all 5 killers ran from the scene. That's because an off-duty police officer saw what was happening and tried to stop the fight. A member of the public called an ambulance, and specialist trauma doctors were airlifted to the scene, but despite their best efforts, they did not save Tamim, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. The second victim, who was Tamim's friend, was taken to the hospital where he was treated for his injuries, but the young boy refused to cooperate with the investigation. A day after the killing, one of the 5 boys was found using a school computer to search for reports of Tamim's murder, and in a meeting with the school, he claimed he had been interested in the attack because he used to live in Woolwich and had been at the cinema with friends at the time, but this was a lie. Why did this whole thing happen, you may be wondering? The second victim, who was Tamim's friend, had stabbed a boy 9 days before the killing in Dartford, and the 5 boys wanted revenge, so this whole case is a revenge killing. But sadly, Tamim, who wasn't even involved, lost his life. All 5 killers were caught using CCTV footage and eyewitnessing. All 5 boys were eventually trialed. Let's start with the main killer, who had the knife. He was 16 years old at the time, and after reviewing evidence, he was convicted of manslaughter, but cleared of murder, so he dodged a murder charge. He was also convicted of wounding a second victim, having a blade, and conspiracy to commit violent disorder, and ultimately was given 18 months, young offenders rehabilitation order, and a 55-hour activity requirement. He was also given an electronic curfew for 3 months between 8 PM and 6 AM. The 4 other killers, who were between the ages 15 and 20, were cleared of murder, manslaughter, and attempted murder. However, the one with the umbrella stem, who was aged 16, was convicted of wounding, possession of an offensive weapon, and conspiracy to commit violent disorder. He was also given an 18-month young offenders rehabilitation order and will undertake a 30-hour activity requirement, and was also given an electronic curfew for only 3 months. The other 3 boys are still awaiting trial.